Okay, welcome to this extra class. Good evening to all of you. So today we are going to discuss some continuation of the GCD thing. So in the previous class we discussed Euclidean algorithm, right? So Euclidean algorithm used to find GCD, and not only that, it will give some extra thing that we will call as extended Euclidean algorithm. So just recall that. So for example, I want to find GCD of 10, 7 by using Euclidean algorithm. How can you do it? So I'll first write 10 is equal to 7 into 1 plus 3. I'll apply division algorithm. So, and we know that the GCD of 10, 7 is equal to GCD of 7, 3, because we proved that D10 intersection D7 is equal to D7 intersection D3, okay, in particular. So now because of this, now the goal is now boils down to find GCD of 7, 3 now, right? So now the new problem is finding GCD of 7, 3. Again, I will apply 7 is equal to 3 into 2 plus 1. So now GCD of 7, 3 is equal to now 3, 1. Now goal still boils down. So now GCD of 10, 7 is equal to GCD of 7, 3 is equal to GCD of 3, 1. So it is sufficient to find GCD of 3, 1 now, right? So now GCD of 3, 1, again I will apply division algorithm. So 3 is equal to 1 into 3 plus 0. Now we got remainder 0. So that means 1 dividing 3. So GCD of 3, 1 is 1, right? So 10, 7 is equal to 7, 3 is equal to 3, 1, GCD is 1. So we done this. So you know already a priori GCD of 7, 10, 7 is 1. Is it possible to express now this 1 as integer linear combination of these 10 and 7, right? So that is another point now, right? So to do that one, what is that we will do? So from this equation, from here, 7 is equal to 3 into 2 plus 1. So from that I can write 1 is equal to 7 in minus 3 into 7 minus 3 into 2, right? But now I want to express 1 as integer linear combination of 10 and 7, but 7 is there, but 10 is still missing. But we know that 10 is equal to 7 into 1 plus 3. So from this I can get the 3, right? So 1 is equal to 7 minus 3 into 2. So 3 is 10 minus 7 into 1. So finally it is 1 is equal to 10 into minus 2 plus 7 into 3, right? It is working, right? So we have 1 is equal to 10x plus 7y, where x equal to minus 2 and y is equal to 3. Yeah, somebody asked a question. Yeah, please.
Sir, I just have a doubt over here. I don't know. This might be very silly, but GCD 10, 7, you have written GCD bracket 10, 7. But if you just write bracket 10, 7, does it still mean GCD?
Yeah, that is the notation we are using. Yeah. In this entire course, sometimes I may write GCD, but even if I do not write, actually it is GCD only.
Okay, understood.
So in this course, it is not ordered pair, it is always GCD. So later we'll introduce other thing called LCM. When LCM, it is like this, A comma B, open, closed. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so note that this x and y need not be unique. Okay. So now the natural question is that is there exist integers x and y such that d is equal to ax plus y, ax plus by, where a comma b GCD is equal to d, right? This example is telling us that natural question is this. So if a comma b GCD is equal to d is always exist integers x and y such that d is equal to ax plus by. The answer is yes, because the approach we followed we can do for anything. So that is called extended algorithm, right? We are going backwards now. So finally we'll get GCD, then I'll go backwards and I can express D as integer linear combination of AX and BY, right? So now there is another way to prove it. So we'll try that. We'll try to see that. Today is our goal is that. So let a comma b be integers and a comma b not equal to 0, 0. That means GCD exists. Okay. So then I am considering this set. Okay. So in this set, I am taking that this SAB here, suffix AB. A comma B. SAB is equal to AX plus BY, where X comma Y is in integers. Okay. So XY is in integers. Okay. So now I am asking few questions here. So remember that this AB, one of them is non-zero. Okay. So we are in that stage. Okay. What happens if both are zero? This SAB also becomes zero. Okay. We discussed this type of questions earlier. That's why I'm not asking you now. I'm going further. So this automatically zero, or only singleton zero in that case. But now one of them is non-zero, remember. Now, do you agree that this is non-empty first? Anyhow non-empty, right? Yeah, so now, so can you, now any one of you? So already I told, but even then let us discuss more about it. Let us discuss more about, means I'll ask more questions. Yeah, Shubhamoy?
Yes, sir. I also.
It is non-empty, is correct or wrong?
I think so.
No, no. What is? Can you give me one element here? Is zero is here?
Yeah, zero is also here.
Why zero is here?
I mean, let's choose x equals to 1, y equals to -1, and then a equals
No,
to
ax
1,
plus by. I am telling s zero belong to the set ax plus by, where x comma y belong to integers. The question, is it true or not? X, y are integers. A and B are fixed. X and Y are changing. So the question is that is zero belong to this set?
Yeah.
Yeah. Akshat? Yeah. How?
If it is x and y, they are zero, then.
X and Y both zero, then A zero, A into zero plus B into zero, that is zero. So zero belong to this set.
Yes.
So whatever may be AB, this always zero is always be here. This set always contains zero. There is no doubt in it. Okay. So that part is done. So this is done. Okay. Non-empty is done. Now can you give me one more element here? Akshat, can you give me one more element here?
A.
So A belong to SAB. So how do you justify?
Sir, when we take y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1.
Okay. Can you give me one more element?
B.
B. Okay. One more?
A plus B.
Yeah, right. Great. So now the next question is S is infinite? I'll erase everyone. Yeah, so now can you tick it? Is S is infinite? Yeah, Ishan, can you go ahead?
Yes, fix y equal to 0 and vary x over the integers.
But
Assuming
here,
one of them, yeah. So assuming A is non-zero, and if A is 0, then switch to B.
Yeah. See, in the A and B, one of them is non-zero. If A is non-zero, then I can keep exchanging so that Ax and Y can be taken zero. That itself is giving infinite subset. Okay, if now B is non-zero, I do not worry about A zero or non-zero, but I know that one of them is non-zero. If B is non-zero, then I can keep X equal to 0 and keep vary Y. They are infinite. So this is always infinite. Great. So this is also done. Yes. Okay. So the reason follows from one of A and B is non-zero. One of A and B is non-zero. So from that this is following. Correct. Now can you provide one positive integer in this? Okay, I'll clear now. One positive integer in this. So this you already ticked. So Amia, can you go ahead?
A square plus B square.
Yeah, so you already answered it in the quiz also, right? This A square plus B square, right? So I take X equal to A and Y equal to B. You see, X and Y are any integers. I can take X equal to A also. So that's why A square plus B square is in S. Okay, and it is this is greater than 0. You know why it is greater than 0. One of them is non-zero, so it is positive. So this contains positive. Great. Now then once it is positive, I take T intersection N. Okay, I'll erase it and so let me erase it, this part. I'll take, yeah, so I'll take my T, now I'll take like this, T is equal to S intersection natural numbers. Okay, so what we can say about now this set, Amia? Amia, nice. Achla, can you, what you can say about this set, Achla?
So this is a subset of natural numbers and is non-empty.
Non-empty. Okay, 1 minute. Actually, great. Yeah. So actually, I need to write AB. I am using AB here. SAB intersection N. So it is subset of natural numbers and also it is non-empty. It is not equal to empty. Why it is non-empty? Actually,
we found a positive integer in SAB.
SAB, and that is a positive integer. So it is in intersection. So it is non-empty. And this is subset of natural numbers. So what is the next question? I'll erase now. So one of you can tell. Yeah, now tell, please tick S if you are ready to answer. What is my question? What is that we do next? Otherwise, yeah. Right. Yeah, Kanishk.
Sir, next question you can ask for whether it this set contains the least element or not.
So actually it automatically. So next question is that so it is non-empty. So actually here I'm actually my question non-empty. Okay, but that is done. So by well ordering principle, this T has a least element. T has a least element, right? So can you say some number, Kanishk? Which one you want me to take?
Sir, 1.
No. Yes. See, I do not know SAB. How can I take 1? T, I don't know. SAB, I do not know. SAB is AX plus BY.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So for example, okay, let us see. Is it 1 belong to SAB always?
Sir, not always, I think.
So can you give me one A and B such that 1 does not belong to SAB? Then I'll go to Sankriti. She's asking something.
Sir, if we take A is equal to sir, any number, like if you take A is equal to 2, and sir, if X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to...
you tell me both A and B.
So B is equal to 4.
Very good. Yeah. So A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4. So then why 1 does not belong to SAB? That means 2x plus 4y. X and Y are changing.
Yes.
Why 1 does not belong to? It is because, see, so 2x plus 3y, 4y, right? It is equal to 2 times x plus
yes,
x plus 2y, which is equal to 1. What is the meaning of that?
So
this means that 2 divides
x. 2 divides 1.
2 into something equal to 1. That means 2 divides 1. But what is the problem with this? It is not true.
Not true. Yes.
How can you prove again? 2 does not divide 1. For example, 2 divides 1. What happens? Okay, everything you can prove it. Suppose 2 divides 1. That means there exists a case as that 1 is equal to 2 into k. Now I take the modulus of 1 is equal to modulus of 2 into k. Right? But the modulus of product of two numbers is greater than or equal to individual. So it is greater than, modulus of 1 is greater than 2. That's a contradiction. So I'm using the real numbers modulus function. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
It is clear. So we cannot say that 1 belongs to T, right? Is it clear? Okay. Yeah. Just think about, so Sankriti, you asked some question. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. In the third part, when you said, can you provide one positive integer in S? You took A square plus B square. I was just wondering, A plus B will never be the answer, right? See, it depends upon A and B are integers, right? Right. It could be minus as well. That's what I wanted. Yeah. So but can you produce 1?
See, you no need to fix it to a square plus b square only. See, but what is that you know, Sankriti? So now put your clean slate, mind very clear. So now new question is coming to you. It is a completely different. It is not related to number theory or anything. So you have two integers. One of them is non-zero. I don't know which one is non-zero. Either A non-zero or B non-zero. One of them is for sure non-zero. Both can be also non-zero. But for sure one of them is non-zero. Is it clear?
Okay.
Now ax plus by, right?
Okay.
So now can you produce one positive element from this other than a square plus b square? There is no need to think only this way.
Okay. A4 plus B4 or
No,
A
think,
to 4.
no. See, a is non-zero. So what is, suppose a is non-zero, right?
Okay.
Then what is the possibilities for a? A is an integer. A is non-zero. So by law of trichotomy, a can be less than 0 or a can be
greater than 0.
If a is greater than 0, then what is that I can choose for x and y?
Even you can choose 1.
And y equal to 0.
Y is equal to 0. Yes. That's
If
what
a is less than 0, then
is less than 0, then we'll have to take a bigger number for y. So
no, I
that
do not know about b, right? So think about.
Right.
So okay, so I think many of them understood. You also think about.
Okay.
So what is that I want to say that when no, you no need to restrict a square plus b square. I just asked one positive, he told, but one can give many. Yeah. Okay, now again come back to this original question. So yeah, I'll erase everything now. So see, Kanishk, what I asked is that it has a least element, right?
Yes, sir.
So least element we'll give some name. Least element, how many will be there? Unique, right?
Yes, sir.
So least element say, we'll say something, right? In mathematics, we do something. Na?
So
P has a
let's
least say
D.
B. But B I should not take. Why?
So B because you have used already.
Already SAB may B already B high B. Okay,
Yes,
that is
sir.
also there. So
We can take C. Sir.
C. Okay, great. Okay, you can take C also. Okay, I am taking D. Okay, no problem. Na?
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. So I take D. What is D now, by the way?
So D is an element in SAB intersection N.
Okay, very great, very great. SCA, it is in the intersection, right? D belong here. That is okay. What next? This is one property of D. What is the second property of D?
So D is the GCD of AB.
No, that I not told. That's okay. I'll put write C then.
Okay, sir.
I'll write C here. Okay. It is because whenever I am writing D, you are thinking GCD. Where I told GCD and all. See, my problem, I started from here. A and B are two integers and A comma B. So this A comma B is ordered pair. Okay. So
okay,
Sankriti asked, so that's why I'm not putting this. Okay. I'm not writing A comma B not equal to 0, 0. Instead of this, I'm writing A square plus B square not equal to 0. But here, this AB is ordered pair AB. Okay, I hope you understand. It is not GCD. This is the confusion. I'm sorry for that.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not told. I am just concentrating SCAB only. I showed that one of them is non-zero. It is infinite set. I proved it is a positive element. Then I intersected with n, and it contains then it becomes a non-empty subset of natural numbers. So by Verlating principle, it has a least element. That least element I'm calling as D. Okay, again I'm bringing D so that we'll see why I'm calling it D. So now D. So what we can say about D? Again, I'm asking to revise once. What is this D? You told that D is in the intersection. It is in T. T has a least element D, and D belongs to T. It is equal to SCAB intersection natural numbers. Fine. This is good. What next?
So D is positive. That is we know that.
That is because it is in the intersection. So that is what is the other property that we selected D? D is the
so D is linear combination.
No, D is the least. That much only I know.
Yes, sir.
So I am again asking one more time. D is the least element in T, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Okay. Now, what do you mean by D belongs to SCAB?
So D belongs to SAB. It means so it can be written in terms of SAB that we have used earlier.
So there exist
X and Y such that D is equal to AX plus BY.
Right. Every element in SAB look like AX plus BY. So there exists some U comma V.
Yes, sir.
They are integers such that D is equal to
AU plus BU.
Okay. Again, I'll repeat all the things. I just started some set SAB, AX plus BY, and I am here. Okay. And I produced what is now D? So Amia, can you tell me what is D related to SAB now? Amia? As an entire set, what we can say about D? Amia?
I didn't understand the question.
You know D, right? What is D, you know, right?
It's the minimum of SAB intersection N.
That is okay. Can you say, I do not want to bring intersection N and all. Can you say now, what is D? Okay. So, you know, it's 3Z,
You
right?
can introduce mod.
No. You know 3Z? You know 3Z?
Yes, sir.
What is 3 in 3Z?
3 into 1.
That is okay. What is 3 in 3Z? 3Z contains many numbers, right? 0, 3, 6, and so on, and -3, and so on.
It's the least element, least non-zero element.
No, least -3 also least element. Non-zero.
Or like we can like take absolute value and then say it's the least element.
No, so you can say something. Okay, so that is the way we constructed D. Yeah, Ishan.
Sir, are you trying to say that DZ is equal to AZ plus BZ?
No, I am not saying all those things. I am asking very simple question. What is D? D is the, from right now, what is D? D is the least positive integer in SAB. Is it okay, Amia?
Yes, sir. I mean, that was the first thing I said.
No, you are not telling that way. Intersection N bata rahe. No, I am not want to say anything. Now, finally, what is my D?
No, but that exactly means the same thing.
That's okay. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. That's okay. It is not this part. My point is that now N ko sabko hatakar, you will understand why I am saying that point also. See, whenever you take some MZ, okay. So in MZ, what is the generator? M. And there is another generator also. You studied group theory.
-M.
-M. Which one you generally take up? Out of this positive you will take. Okay, in 3Z, what is the least positive integer?
3.
3. That is the crux of the thing. The least positive integer is the generator. In the group theory, ring theory, and all those things. So finally, I do not, after completion of this entire proof and everything, in the proof only I am bringing intersection N and all. Uske baad I do not worry about. I simply say SAB contains positive integers. Out of those positive integers, there is a least element. That is my crux. That is the entire picture. Okay. So first time we are doing, so I introduced an intersection N sab kuch mein prove kar raha hu. Is it clear, Amaya, now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now this D is an element in SAB. So D is equal to AU plus BV. So right now, what is D for us again? One more time, last time. Kanishk?
So D is the least positive element in SAB.
Very good. So since it is an element in SAB, so it is also of this form only. So till now we done this much only. Great. Now we'll go forward. Okay. Now I am asking that what Ishan is last time also you want to tell. He is very eager to tell that. That is what now we're going to discuss. So now I'm asking now. So you understood that this is here, okay, which is equal to ax plus by. This is a set x comma y in integers. Okay. Now d is here. Now you know dz. You know dz. Now what is the relation between this dz and SAB? That is my question. Simple question. So you know about d. So d already element here, so it is expressed like this. Now what we can say about dz and SAB? Is there any connection between these two? That is a question. Next question. Yeah, Manan Thakkar.
Sir, DZ is a subset of SAB.
Very good. Great. This is wonderful. But how you prove it?
Sir, if we say that if y is equal to...
Wow, very good. Go slowly. Very good. Very good. Okay. I take y belong to dz. Yeah. Implies what?
so then after the...
See,
y,
no, that's why I'm going very slow. See, you see, Amaya? You
Yes,
see,
sir.
you see why there is a difficulty for all the people?
I don't know what to say.
No. Y belong to dz means what?
So we can
No,
replace...
I'm not asking you. Just wait. Okay. So see, we should not be hurry. I can tell, right? I know all these things. Okay. What do you mean by y belong to dz, Manan? Okay. See, what do you mean by 3z? Manan, what do you mean by 3z?
By 3Z you means like...
What is 3z? Is it a set or a number or a dog or a cat or a flower or what is this 3z?
It is a set.
It is a set. What it contains?
It contains all the
Multiples of 3, right?
multiples of... Yes.
Yeah. Now I'm telling some y belong to 3z. What do you mean by that?
Y belongs to, means one of the element is y.
Okay. What do you mean by that again? Y is a multiple of 3, right?
Yes, y.
What do you mean by that again? It is belongs to. Now belongs to, I want to convert into equal to. How do I convert into equal to? It is equal to one of the element here. Which element is that? Are you following now, Manan?
Yes, sir, yes.
See, y belong to 3z. So you are correct. It is in 3z means it is one among these.
Yes.
But which one is that? But I do not know about y. So which one I will say that exactly? How do you write in mathematics?
We say 3x and x belongs to z.
Right. So what is the quantifier you will use for that? So y belong to 3z. Then tell me now. Y belong to 3z means what? So is 6 belong to 3z?
Yes.
Why? Because 6 is equal to 3 into something. Something you do not tell. Why you are not, why you am not asking you to tell? Because 6, if you know 6, then I know what is 2. That is exactly 2. But I do not know what is this y. Okay. 6 belong to 3z, but there existed 2 such that 6 equal to 3 into 2, right? So y belong to 3z means there exists an x.
Yes.
So this is the thing. This is very important. Okay. So y belong to dz means there exists an x in z such that
y is equal to dx.
Very good. Y is equal to dx. Okay, great. Okay. By next what? But what is that I want to show? This is subset of this, right?
Yes.
This is subset of this means I want to show that every element is here, right?
Yes.
So I took an arbitrary element. I cannot prove for everything. I took one arbitrary element. I want to know why. I want to show y is in SAB. Okay. When it is in SAB, y is of the form some ax, some ak plus ak1 plus ak2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So so that is the thing now. So can you now tell me something now from here? How do I prove that y is equal to a into something plus b into something? लाना है अभी. मैं अभी तक नहीं लाया है. How do I bring AB now? Kanishk?
Yes, sir. So we can put the value of D, A that we have.
Yeah. So D is equal to AU plus BV. D is already an element. So I can write D is equal to AX plus BY. Sorry, AU plus BV, right? Into X. Yeah. Now Manan, can you tell me now?
Yes, sir. Now we can just expand it and then
Yeah. What is A times how much? B times how much?
we have U A times A
UX and
UX
B
and
times
B.
VX, right? Yeah. Okay. Now are you clear? Now this is A times some number plus B times some number. Whatever it is, you can put in your mind. So Y is of the form A into something plus B into something. That means that this belongs to SCAB. Right?
Yes.
So can you go through? I'll give 1 second to you. 30 seconds to you. Please go through now. I'll erase everything. So if you are clear, please tick yes. Once after going through carefully, how we prove DZ is subset of SCAB. If you are clear, tick yes. See, while I'm telling you these things, you will feel that why Sir is telling these trivial things. But when I ask you, you may not tell. Okay. I hope you understand my intentions. Okay. Okay, Sankriti, can you prove it once for me? Is it okay for you?
Yes, sir, it's very clear. I am able to understand. I just wanted to know how come you got D is equal to AU plus BV. I got that basically it's in the form of AX plus BY because D belongs in SAB. But I just want to know why did you choose U and V and not?
Okay. So U and V, see X and Y is here, X and Y are varying, right?
Yes.
So for example, in 3Z, how elements look like? How do you write that set?
It would range from, it would be all multiples of 3. So for example,
but how do you write? But instead of that, I will write some simpler way.
Yeah, 3x.
X belong to?
X belongs to Z.
Very good, right? You wrote like that?
Yes.
Now 6 is in here. Now 6 equal to how much?
3 into 2.
Now why you are writing not X?
Okay, because
you are writing.
Because you are writing taking factor. Okay.
No. 6 is a particular element.
Right.
Now once it is there, for that 6 there is a 2.
There is a value in Z such that 3 into that value gives us 6.
Yes, exactly. So like that, D is an element in SAB.
Okay.
So now that for that D there is a particular X. X has some value, Y has some value.
Okay.
So that is U and V. Very good. That is a good question to ask also.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So yeah. So this is done now. So what is that we proved? DZ is subset of SCAB. Right. This much we proved. Now is somebody help me that is it true that SCAB contained in DZ? So it's a question now coming to my mind. Okay. So now I will erase. How many of you able to prove that? We'll see that. Okay, Ishan, you are telling you can prove it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But do you tell me simple one step at a time? Do not tell the bigger things.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Just to say by the division algorithm, that's what you mean?
Okay, yeah. But not that one also. Okay, that's the problem actually. You told entire actual main thing. It's okay. Ishan, sorry. Actually, I'll appreciate you.
I did.
No, Ishan. Actually, I'll appreciate you. You know all these things, even then you are attending. I'm grateful to that. Yeah, but anyhow, but even then it's okay. We can go forward.
Thank you,
Akshat, you can say something. Yeah, what is that, Akshat, you want to say?
Yes, sir. About the proof.
Proof. Okay. Can you go now one after the another? Yeah.
Yeah. So any element in SAB can be written as AX plus.
Okay. No. 1 minute. Go slow. So I take Z in SAB, right?
Right.
What is that I want to show?
We want to show that it's also an element of DZ.
Okay, it is in DZ. I want to show. I am not known at this juncture. What is the meaning of this one?
It's a multiple of D.
That means Z is equal to some DK.
Right.
Right. This is what I want to show. Right. Right. Yeah. Great. So I hope all of you are clear with this. So I want to show this is subset of this. So Z belong to SAB. Now Z is in. I want to show Z is in DZ. This is my goal. That means Z is equal to some DK. So am I able to do it or not? That is my final destination. This is not done. Okay. So now how to do that? Okay. Now anyone else other than Ishan? Ishan already told. So somehow I need to show that Z is equal to D into something. That is my goal now. How do I proceed? Now any one of you want to say ticket? No problem.
So could you repeat the question again?
See, now I have Z, small z in SCAB. I want to show it is in DZ. Okay, DZ. So that means Z is equal to DK. I want to show. Okay, so forget about that. What is that I want to say? I have Z and I have D. Now, finally, I have Z, I have D. I want to show that D divides Z. Okay, I know Z, I took Z, and I know D. I want to show D divides Z. What is that I know to show D divides Z? Generally, you give two integers. How can I possible that D divides Z? No. Z itself has some property. It is of the linear combination of A and B. And D is the least here. So these are the things already with us. Somehow I need to use it. But how do you use it to prove that? So this is the question. Yeah, Akshat, go ahead.
So since D divides A and D divides B, D divides any linear combination.
How do you know that D divides A?
It's an element of AX plus BY. Oh no.
No. See,
That's
I know that DZ is subset of SCAB.
So
I do not know that D divides A, D divides B. So even from this, can you prove it? You can
yes,
prove it.
so since DZ is a subset of SAB, so
Okay.
D is of the form AX plus BY.
Oh, okay.
And
so D is equal to, I already know AU plus BV. Okay. Now from this, how do you show D divides A?
A is just a.
See, you know that D is not GCDR and something. D is the least positive element in SCAB. So that is okay, Akshat, till now?
Yes, sir.
But I want to show that D divides every element in SAB, not only AB. That is our goal. But you are claiming that D divides A. Yeah. So how? Okay, that is in general. In fact, I am proving any element I take, it divides. That is what I want to show. Achila.
So we could use division algorithm.
So
D is non-zero.
No, to apply, D is non-zero. Why D is non-zero?
We said D was the least element of S intersection N.
So D is positive. D is positive, so D is non-zero. So good. And Z is an integer. When you have two integers, then I can apply division algorithm. So Z is equal to DQ plus R. What is that I want to show? Actually, D divides Z. That means what is that I want to show? R is equal to 0. Right? Okay. But division algorithm is not just this much. It is more. What is that? So 0 is R is less than D. No modulus because D is positive. So this much is okay, Achila?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now tell me that how can you do now?
We now show that R is equal to 0.
Very good. So I need to show that R is equal to 0. Okay. But yeah, how do you show that R equal to 0? Yes, that is the question. Great. So how do you show R equal to 0? Amiya?
Z minus dq.
No, that is you are recalling the proof. Okay. Before that, I want to show R equal to 0. What is the next step? Just tell me the next step.
Like we have to. No, I mean.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'll write whatever you said. Okay. R is equal to
Z minus dq.
Z minus dq. Okay, I'll write that. Okay, I'll write that. Okay, so it is natural to you, so I'll write that. Okay, right. Next.
Then we can write Z because Z is in SAB.
Very good. Z is in SAB, so there exists some m comma n such that am plus bn is Z. Okay, minus.
And then D is AU plus BV.
Okay. D is already AU plus BV. So AU plus BV into some Q. Okay. So finally, if I simplify, I'm getting that some AK plus AR plus BS. Okay, fine. AR plus BS. Okay, fine. I got up to here. Now, not R actually. R is already I took. So I take some K1, K2 later. Okay. Right. Yeah. So
now R belongs to SAB.
Oh, okay. R belongs to SAB.
And R is less than D.
R is less than D. Correct.
Which is a contradiction.
Not contradiction. Abhi tak contradiction nahi aaya tha.
Yeah, so if we assume that R is positive.
That is what I asked before. Are you assuming that? I think, yeah. So now there are two choices for R. R is 0 or non-zero. If R is 0, we are done. That is what we want also. If R is non-zero, that is a contradiction because R is a positive and it is in SAB, but D is the least positive. Okay. Great. Okay, so fine. So what is that we proved? Okay, nothing. Okay, just I recall one time. Okay. So what is that I want to say that you just close your eyes and think about today sometime. Okay. This is now second best proof we are proving. First one we proved division algorithm proof and the second proof. Okay. So actually this so answer is yes. So this thing is this is called Bezoart's identity. You are actually proving very big thing. Okay. Today you are not knowing, but you are proving big thing. Okay. So big thing you are proving very easily. So this is called Bezoart's identity. What is Bezoart's identity? GCD of A comma B is equal to D, then there exists X and Y such that D is equal to AX plus BY. That is the Bezoart's identity. In fact, we are proving more. I will tell that also. Without mentioning, I am proving something and later I will conclude everything. Okay, how we done? So we just started two integers A and B. I constructed SAB. Since one of them is non-zero, so this is infinite set, and not only that, it contains positive elements. So this intersection with natural numbers is non-empty. So by Bell-Ording principle, the SAB intersection N has a least element. So finally, I got the least element I called as D. So now forget about all those intermediate business. So D is the least positive integer in SAB. So instead of all these things, you can think in future. So SAB is infinite and it contains positive. Since it contains positive, it contains, I'll take the D is the least positive integer in SAB. D is the least positive integer in SAB. Now, since D is already in SAB, so D is of the form AU plus BV, some AU plus BV. So and DZ is clearly contained in SAB. This is what we proved. Now we want to prove the converse. SAB is contained in DZ, but that comes very easily. So I took a Z in SAB. I want to show that this is in DZ. That means D divides Z I have to prove. So since D is positive non-zero, I now applied the weapon division algorithm. So D is Z is equal to DQ plus R. Okay. As Amiya told, just I put R is equal to Z minus DQ. So now I proved that R is also of the form AX plus BY. R is in SAB. That is what we proved. But if If R is not equal to 0, then it is in the intersection of SAB intersection natural numbers. But if R is equal to 0, and we are done. Otherwise, it is a contradiction for D is the smallest. Okay. So I request you to go through carefully. So I'll erase now everything. So I'll give 1 minute time to go through entire proof once. I know it is little lengthy now, but I will ask one of you. Okay. First go through 30 seconds. Doubts, raise hand. Done. Tick yes. But you have to answer.
Sir, could you scroll to the proof
No,
again?
I will not show now. This is empty.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, Kanak, go ahead.
So two integers a and b, such that both of them are not equal to 0 simultaneously.
Yeah, so SAB is infinite set and it contains positive elements that we know. Uske baad, can you tell me?
So then we constructed some set. This SAB we intersected with n basically.
That contains a least element that I'm calling D. What is D now?
Yes, sir.
What is D related to SAB in the proof?
So it is the smallest positive
element in SAB.
In SAB. Yes, sir.
Okay, so D is the least positive element in SAB. This is one part of the proof. So this is half part of the proof. In this part, what we done? So it contains infinite elements. It contains positive elements. We intersect with natural numbers, and by Ballardin principle, it has a least element. All those things. Finally, conclusion is that is finally we got here. So this is one thing we need to remember in this proof. D is the least positive element. There it has a least positive element that I am calling as D. What is the second thing we proved? Once D comes,
SAB.
No, DZ is equal to SAB. So these are the two things we proved. So how we proved? DZ is contained in SAB, SAB is contained in DZ. How we proved those, we need to be clear. So DZ is contained in SAB is easy, right? Because D is already element in SAB. So there exists U and V such that so D is equal to AU plus BV. Now if I take any element Y in DZ, Y is of the form D into K, but D is AU plus BV. So that Y is also of the form some A times something plus B times something. So this is subset of this. Okay, that is easy to see. Now converse part I want to show. If I take any element here, that is here. That means that is divisible by D. For that I took a small z in here. Okay. Now D is greater than 0 by Ballardin principle. Z is equal to dq plus R. Now R is equal to Z minus dq. But Z is an element here. It is of the, these are the things you may forget. Z is here. So it is of the form some A M plus Bn. that is the only step you may forget in future. That is Amya told directly. Z is in element here. That means it is of the form some am plus bn minus d is also of that form. So finally, that r is of the form. R is an element in SAB, but it is greater than or equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, we are done. If it is not, then there is a problem with the least element of D. So this much we done. Okay. So this much we done. So dz is equal to SAB. So what is that meaning now? If I take any element here, that is here. Okay. So Akshat, now can you tell me that is D divides A?
Yes, sir.
Why D divides A?
Because A is an element in SAB.
A is an element in SAB, but this is also, so A belongs to DZ now. Because A is in SAB, SAB is equal to DZ. So A is in DZ. A is in DZ means A is a multiple of D, or D divides A.
Right.
Yeah. So is it D divides B also?
Yes, sir.
So from this, what is the conclusion?
D divides any linear combination of A and B.
No, that is okay. But D divides A, D divides B means D belongs to DA intersection
DB.
So, and also it is greater than or equal to 1 because it is positive.
Right.
This much we have. It is a common divisor. This is a common divisor. Okay. Now let us take, can you predict what is my goal finally? Can you predict? This SCAB is AZ plus BZ we discussed earlier. Now it is equal to what? DZ. Okay. This is a subgroup. This is what Ishan want to tell. Subgroup plus subgroup. Those who know subgroup, sum of two subgroups is a subgroup. Okay. This is also subgroup of Z. Okay. But what is the generator? Z is a cyclic group. So it is generated by single element. So those who know ring theory, so this is a principal ideal. BZ is a principal ideal. Sum of the two ideals is an ideal. And that is every Z is a principal ideal ring. So it is generated by single element. See, lot of beauties are there. That is what Ishan want to tell. Okay. So now can you predict now? What is D? Till now we proved it is a common divisor. Yeah, Akshat. Yeah.
So we want to prove that D is the GCD of A.
D is the GCD, greatest common divisor. So how do you go now? Suppose C is another divisor. C divides A, C divides B, right? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. C divides A and C divides B. Then from this, how do you show that the C divides C less than or equal to D, or C divides D, whatever, right? Greatest chahiye mujhko, right?
Yes, sir.
C is negative, already C is less than or equal to D. I'm done. So I'm assuming that C is greater than 0, right? Is it
yes,
okay? Sir. Yeah. So if any common divisor is there, then D is greater than that, or D divides. In fact, we can prove that C divides D also. Yeah. Now go ahead, Akshat.
Sir, if C divides A and C divides B, then D can be written as a linear combination of A and B.
No,
so
no. Go slow. C divides A, C divides B. From this, what you can conclude?
C divides AX plus BY.
That is okay, but now we need to something D related, right?
We can write D as a linear combination of AX plus BY because it's an element of SAB.
But we already done it in the first part.
Yes.
Oh, those numbers also.
So it could be written as DZ.
Okay, 1 minute. You are done actually. There is no doubt you completed. But Kanak, yeah, go ahead.
So we're gonna have the same element. So C divides A and C divides B. So C will divide a linear combination of
that linear combination is okay. But I want to take a particular combination so that it is related to D.
So AX plus BY is B.
Okay, 1 minute then. Achila?
Sir, in the proof we use D equal to AU plus BB. So
yeah, right. That much only. Don't worry. See, Do not feel guilty or something. Okay, I'm not finding mistakes or something to you. You are actually telling correct things, but much more precise or much more thing. You may not know what is in my mind, right? I agree 100%. Don't worry. So now C divides AU plus BV, so C divides T. Done. Okay. So now from this, can you conclude that? Okay, now if I give this part, can you conclude that D is of the form AX, D is equal to AX plus BY, right? Some X and Y, correct, right? Right, that is easy. It's because D is here, D belong to DZ. So D is equal to D into 1. So D belong to DZ, but now D is equal to AZ, DZ is equal to AZ plus BZ. So D is here. So D is equal to AX plus BY, right? So Bezoart's identity says that only one thing, that so Bezoart's identity only demand that A comma B GCD is equal to D, there exist X and Y such that D is equal to AX plus BY. But we proved more. What is that we proved more? We proved that AZ plus BZ is equal to DZ, we proved. Is it not more than what we are asking? So this is there, this is easy, right? So AZ plus BZ is equal to DZ, then D is equal to AX plus BY, easy to see. But from here, it is not true, right? It is in fact not true also in general. Okay. So that's why this is very interesting point. Okay. So we can use any one of them needed Bezoart's identity. So I'll stop here. So my goal 1 hour only. Just I want to prove these results. One of the beautiful thing. So Bezoart's identity now onwards means if GCD of A comma B is equal to D implies there exist X and Y such that D is equal to AX plus BY. Okay. So from next class onwards, so think of 3 things we have now. One is well ordering principle, WOP. Next one we have is division algorithm. So division algorithm, when you apply, whenever you have 2 integers, X, A and B not equal to 0, apply. So whenever you have 2 integers, one of them is non-zero, and then you can have their GCD. Not only that, D is equal to AX plus BY. There exist X and Y. Okay, so this is Bezoart's identity. We have now 3 things with us. Of course, excluding the concept of division and all, but these are the 3 weapons I will use. You already understood well ordering principle. I am continuously applying. Today we use division algorithm also. Next class onwards, I will start using Bezoart's identity. So whenever you have GCD of A and B equal to D, then there exists X and Y such that D is equal to AX plus BY. Okay, good, great. So I'll stop here.